Hey everybody, so I'm back today with another set of miniatures for Muskets and Tomahawks that I'm starting. These miniatures are by Conquest or Warlord Games. I ordered these through Warlord Games and they're the Delaware Indians. I have a pack of 6 here. I'll just sort of pan out and just show them at a distance. I'll just show each one up close real quick too. But before I do, reason why I have these 6. They do make 12 of them. Eventually I'll most definitely get the other 6 that come with this pack. But I also have another group of small number of Indians as well that I'm going to paint that are a little bit different than these. These ones, I'm doing a demo game for those of you that are not aware watching the channel, and the demo is going to have a British and a Canadian side, or excuse me, a French side. And essentially, on the one side, I'm looking for a core group of regulars or militia, you know, and then also a group of Indians to support them in the list. And so to get the flavor of the game, I think it would be good to have, you know, experience the Indians as well as the regulars, irregular troops, etc. And so I wanted a group of Indians that I could ally with the French on the French side. Now, these are labeled as Delaware Indians, and I'm not a historian, but I have been reading a book called Crucible of War. It's a very large book on the French and Indian Wars. And the Delaware Indians, as I understand it, were constituted, generally described as either Eastern or Western Delawares. And so the Western Delawares, I believe, were in the Ohio Valley and were allied with the French for at least the beginning of the war and the majority of the war, as I understand it. The Eastern Delawares were actually, at one point or another, fighting everyone, and they were really a, I guess, ill-treated group, in the sense that the Iroquois nations negotiated their lands away for them on their behalf. They were such a powerful group that they were at the negotiating table with the British and literally gave the Delaware lands away in a thing called the walking purchase. And so during that time, I mean, they were really looking for an excuse to ally with the British, but initially the British didn't really hold much value in allying with Indians or the natives, and so they really fought everybody at one point. They had their lands taken from them. They were a really, really mistreated group, as I understand it. And whether I play these as Western or Eastern Delawares, I really like the models, and I see them, you know, for the game perspective, from a historical perspective, as a very flexible group that you could use. You could either have them fighting on their own with the British at certain points, or with the French. And so really great models, and the next 6 I get will be a different group. They won't be Delawares, or the next 6 I painted, I already have them. And so these will be the most likely the French allies. And then if I wanted to, and I wanted to play strictly Indians at a certain point, I could potentially use these and just add them to everyone else. But here's one guy here. He's in a really nice pose. I almost see him as potentially a bit of a, kind of like a troop leader or a group leader, you know, within the small group. This guy's running in, doing his melee attack with a wooden club, and also has his musket. Here's a guy aiming on his knees. I actually like the character of these miniatures. I'm not new to Warlords minis, but I am kind of new to Conquests. I haven't really not purchased any before, and these ones in particular, you know, I actually quite like. So he's got a gun stock club there, which I think is really cool. Here's another one firing, but he's standing. And then lastly, have another guy with a gun stock club, which I think is awesome. I actually like that weapon. I think it's really cool looking. And so he's holding, he's sort of like got his gun ready, not ready to fire, but just in that ready position if he needed to get it. But then in his right hand he's got the gun stock club, you know, just ready as well. You look like he's just getting prepared for anything. Really nice. There's actually, for those of you that are familiar with all of these miniatures and Conquests and Warlords, there are a couple of leaders, and I'll put the name in below in text, or the one I was thinking of, but there's one guy who's, I looked him up and he's clearly not a Delaware leader, but I don't really see myself creating a war band for the group that he belongs to, and so maybe I'll just show the picture here. And I actually thought this guy in particular would be neat to have as a head of the Delawares, because I just really like the miniature. And so I might do that, I don't know. I just thought he looked really cool. But in general, yeah, this is going to be my next painting project. Just small series of miniatures here. And, you know, hope you guys like these, and I will have progress up shortly. Take care, everybody.